What's up, guys?
I'm Carly.
I'm Gabby, and we're the queens of all things horror.
So if this is your first time seeing our channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button to stay more of our future posts and click the notification bell so you get notified every single time we post, and follow us on our Instagram at wolf.horror.
So for today's video, we're going to be sharing with you guys a little list of horror movies that we've recently discovered and watched. It was, a spur of the moment type of watch, and we really love them, and some of them are pretty underrated, so we thought that we would share and give some insight to some new horror gems.
Yes, these are definitely must watches because we all know the classics, like of course Friday the 13th, as you can see we're repping, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, we know the classics, and we all tend to kind of go back to them because like our comfort zone, but it's always good to like branch out and like just discover a whole bunch of new horror movies, so we are here to help you guys with that. Okay, so the first movie on our list is Triangle 2009, and this movie is basically a psychological thriller, and as you guys know, we love psychological thriller movies, and the first time I watched this movie, my head was spinning. The beginning made no sense, but then it was like, it worked, and it's just an amazing movie, and we highly recommend it. It's super underrated. We hear no one talking about this movie, so watch it. Watch it. Also, we're not going to be doing like detailed reviews right now. If you want us to do a video review or like an actual written review on our Instagram, you can definitely recommend it to us, but this is just a quick mini list.
So the next movie on our list is Old Boy 2003. Now this is a foreign horror movie. It is from Korea, and this is one of the most underrated movies that I have ever seen. This was a very spur of the moment watch, and oh my god, this drama mystery thriller is one of the most messed up, plot twist heaven movies that I've ever encountered, and it gave me so much anxiety, and it really made you evaluate so much that you need to go back and watch it right after because your mind is blown. So please.
That's an effective horror movie.
It is a very effective horror movie, and it is a longer movie, but it does not take away from anything because the plot and how everything plays out is spectacular.
The third movie on our list is We Are What We Are 2013. Now this movie is extremely underrated. I haven't heard a single soul talk about this movie. I watched this movie on spur of a moment. A lot of these movies we watch were like literally on a spur of a moment. It is really good. It's an hour and 45 minutes long. In the beginning, when I mean beginning, I mean like the first like 10 minutes, but after that, like you get really interested and drawn into this movie, and it really focuses on the topic of cannibalism, but the way they do it isn't your typical cannibalism like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or The Hills. Isn't
The Hills Have Eyes?
Yes, The Hills Have Eyes. All those other movies. It's very family oriented, just like those movies, but it's not like those movies either. It's an incredible movie. Highly recommend it, and it's also highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. Even though I really don't look at Rotten Tomatoes as like a source, but Rotten Tomatoes was actually right this time, so let's keep it that way.
The next movie stars icon and queen Jodie Foster. This movie is called Panic Room 2002. Oh my god, I feel this is also an extremely underrated movie, especially considering that Jodie Foster is the star of this movie.
Yeah.
This film really takes you on a roller coaster of emotions and of anxiety, and you really feel so connected to certain characters, and characters that even you're surprised to feel connected to, just because of how the whole movie plays out, and there are specific scenes in the movie that really they catch your attention, and they make you want to replay it just to soak it all in. So highly recommend. Please watch this movie. And if you have watched this movie, can you let us know if you like it or not? Because there are seldom reviews on it, and that's really disappointing.
The next movie is Rest Stop 2006, and I'm sure this film has been talked about a few times. I've seen people talk about this movie, but it needs to be talked about a lot more. It's an incredible, incredible movie. It has a badass female lead, and the plot twist in this film is so amazing, and the way this film is so consistent with every event back to back, it makes you so engaged and you want to keep watching. I watched this movie like in one sitting, straight through. I had no questions about it. I was like, I love this movie. And there's also a sequel that I didn't get to, but I started it and it seemed really good, so I need to continue that. But Rest Stop 2006, highly recommend it. Amazing, amazing story. It's an amazing story. And I don't want to like say like exactly what the story is because it's a spoiler. Like the actual story is a spoiler. So recommend it. Watch it.
The Taking of Deborah Logan, 2014. This movie has impacted me beyond words, and I'm still thinking about this movie. I just need to rewatch it again. This is a very unique horror movie in my opinion because it mixes medicine, medical documentary about a patient with Alzheimer's disease with horror, possession, demonic type of things, and a lot of thriller and mystery all in one. And you would think that horror with medical would be very exploitative, is that a word, to the person with the disease, but no, this movie does it so perfectly. This movie gives you anxiety. It makes you really, really upset and emotional. Like I had to pause numerous times. I was crying. I felt anxiety. I was not okay. You feel empathy and sympathy for every character involved because it is a very heavy movie due to Alzheimer's and the effect that it has, and mixed in with the whole possession story and the mystery. You just really need to have a lot of patience and know how to handle yourself while watching this movie because it is a lot to take in. Also, it's a found footage movie. However, it doesn't feel like actual found footage because we're not fans of that.
Yeah.
It just feels like you are there, you're in the story, and you're witnessing all the mortifying situations that are happening to poor Deborah and her family. So please, I'm begging you, watch this movie and tell us what you think. It is so underrated and so powerful and so good.
Okay, so this movie that we're going to talk about is beyond disturbing. This movie is extremely disturbing. It's like on the same level as Chained.
Yeah.
Like that disturbing. When I watched it for the first time, I was nauseous. I paused it. I was crying. I literally was sending her Snapchats of bawling my eyes out. She was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "This movie."
And then when I watched the movie,
And she watched the
I
movie.
understood and I was crying and pausing and oh my
like
god.
you need moments. So with that introduction, this movie is called The Girl Next Door 2007. Now there are so many brutal scenes in this movie, so prepare yourself.
Yeah.
But the acting in this movie is phenomenal. You would not think like you don't want this to happen in real life,
Yeah.
of course, but you would not think that they're acting because it's like so like nothing seems fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems like they
were all in to present
Yeah.
the horror that we witnessed.
Yeah, like they did a great job at presenting exactly what we really don't want to see, but
Yeah.
it's like that type of movie where it's like, oh my god, like, and it's a 2007 movie, so early 2000s, maybe close to 2010, but the setting is 1958 because it's about an older guy and he reflects back onto his childhood, which took place, I guess, in the late 50s, early 60s. So he reflects back to that, and the entire movie was revolving around that flashback. And the 1958, and the vibe was so spot on.
So nice.
It was so nice. For 2007 movie, they got the 1958 movie down pat. Like, it was so good. And just this movie needs to be watched, and you need to see it for yourself to really understand what we're saying.
And the thing is, like with this movie, the plot is so simple.
Yeah.
However, it is so effective
Yeah.
because of the way the events play out and the way that the characters deliver their performance.
Yes.
Honestly, you just sit there and you feel sad because you know that these types of things happen in real life. And that's why this movie is very traumatic, and that's why we say take a breather and pause when you need to and catch your breath, because it is a lot that unfolds in this movie. And it's just, it really needs to be spoken about more, especially like with the psychological horror aspect, because obviously when you watch this movie, you'll see how this movie can affect somebody.
Yeah. It's extremely well done too. It's an extremely well done. Like she said, it's like such a simple story, and like this type of storyline is used a lot in so many different like horror movies. It's just a very, I wouldn't say like overplayed type of storyline.
I guess a common story.
Yeah, common story. But if it's done right, it's really good. Because there are some movies with these storyline, and it's like okay, like this is not like that. But like this, it's such a good movie. But like, take your time.
Please.
Take your time.
Seriously.
Also, the fact that it has to do with kids.
Yes.
It's really sensitive.
It is very sensitive.
Yeah. So, just
watch it.
Watch it, swallow, cry a little.
Drown a little in your tears and move on.
Move on. Movies that make you think so much after, those are
Those,
good
yeah,
movies
because
to be
they
watching.
did their job. They impacted the audience in such a
Yes.
manner that your thoughts are just revolving around these movies.
Yes.
And the thing is, with all of these movies, and we have one more to talk about, they are not spoken about at all, really, and it's so
Yeah.
upsetting because they are some of the best horror movies that we've seen, maybe even the best in a certain subgenre, I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's just, these are gems, and they are not spoken about, and it's really upsetting because they deserve the praise and appreciation.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of us having such a horror platform to, of course, talk about our favorite horror movies, like the classics and stuff like that. But our main goal is to really bring attention to so many underrated horror
Yes.
gems that are not spoken about with both platforms
Mhm.
on our
Yeah.
Instagram and on YouTube. And it's just, there are so many horror movies, so
So
many
many.
amazing directors who are making these films. And
Talented and unspoken about,
Yeah.
unappreciated movies, actors, directors, storylines.
yeah, exactly. And like the whole point is like that's really what we want to do is
Yeah.
bring awareness to like
Mhm.
these underrated gems, and
Yeah.
they may end up being your favorite movie.
You never know.
Like you need to just watch them, and if you don't like it, that's fine.
And that's
but
fine.
At least you tried something
Exactly.
new. You stepped out of your comfort zone, and that's what life is about.
And sometimes going into a certain movie, like we may have a preconceived notion that,
Right.
oh, we don't like it, whatever. But when we finish a movie,
Mhm.
we are so like, we're mad at ourselves. We're like, why did we have this judgment beforehand?
Exactly.
Because
Right.
then we fall in love and it becomes one of our favorites. And then obviously, like when we share it with each other or we watch it together, and
Yeah.
it just brings us such happiness.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I'm also guilty of myself being like stubborn for like not watching a certain movie because maybe I heard something about it and I was like, oh, like I really don't want to watch this movie, or like maybe like the storyline, like the actual written synopsis didn't interest me, but like
Yeah.
watching it ended up being like one of the best movies ever, and I'm just like, oh, okay, why did I take so long to like watch it?
Yeah.
So it's just things, and even like what we're saying too. You can take our opinions with a grain of salt, but when you
Of
watch
course.
it and then take what we said and be like, oh, like I agree with them, I disagree with them, respectfully, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's just good to discuss things. That's the whole point
That's
of
the
us
whole
doing
point.
this.
It's all give and take.
Yeah.
Listen to somebody's opinion, but don't go into it expecting it to be just this person's opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody needs to be able to formulate their own opinions and judge a movie how they like it or don't like it,
Right.
and not have other people's words influence them.
Exactly.
Because, well, you're gonna be disappointed if you don't like it, or you're gonna be, oh my god, why did this person like it?
Yeah.
It's all give and take.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we have one more movie that we watched together.
The last film we are going to be talking about is Six Souls, 2010, or it may also be well known as Shelter.
This movie, basically, it is about a psychiatrist that tries to help a man with multiple personality disorder, and then a bunch of different subplots start spiraling in, and the entire movie goes downhill from there because it is another heavy movie,
Heavy.
but the storyline is absolutely incredible.
Yes, and also the fact that it does take place briefly, like also in an asylum as well. By now we love the setting of an asylum, mental hospital, sanitarium, anywhere like that.
Yeah.
And just the way the actor is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Like you have to give it to him because he's also playing multiple personalities. And like I know we all know Split, our husbands, James McAvoy. He we love him. He's an incredible actor, and he does personality like transitions like so perfectly too.
Mm-hmm.
But also this actor, he does an incredible job as well.
Mhm.
And I forgot his name, so I'm going to insert it here, or like here's it's
So
gonna be on the
talented.
screen. He deserves all the praise
Mhm.
because the way he does it is terrifying in itself.
Oh my gosh,
he doesn't just like
yeah.
transition. Like it's like this whole like performance.
It is, because it's a verbal action, it's a physical action,
Yeah.
it's a mental action, and the way that the movie ties in the personal lives of the characters with the mystery that's happening and revolving it around the main subject of the psychiatrist with treating the guy with personality disorder. It's genius, it's seamless. It really takes you on a roller coaster of what the F is going on.
We can go on and on about this
Honestly.
movie, but this video would just be way too long.
It is another super underrated movie, and honestly that's really upsetting as well, because this is an incredible movie that has so much to do with different aspects of horror that any movie watcher would appreciate.
So that is all for this video. We're not sure how many movies those were, but we hope you guys had a pen and a paper. You were writing them down, write them down, look them up, whatever you want to do, watch them.
Please watch them.
And yes, that is all for our video. Also, happy Friday the 13th. As you can see, we are rapping
today.
When this video goes up, it's definitely not going to be Friday the 13th anymore, but still.
We're still in the spirit and it works.
Yes. So yes, that is all for our video. Bye guys. Bye.